Morning and welcome to Britain. This is my collection of large pennies, or just pennies. I call them large pennies because, yeah, they're large. I have the complete list from 1716 to 1970, but I figure a lot of these are going to be impossible to find because they're silver and they're just very hard to find. This list is only going to focus on the non-silver ones. So you're going to see it's going to skip from like 4 to 7. So that's what that's for. You know, George III, there was only one issue, 1792. George III, the second face of him, because they do change the faces every few years during their reign. And that was my phone, let's ignore that. There's only 3 years of issue, 6, 7, and 8, and as you can see I do have an 1807, so I'm slowly picking these up. It's going to skip from Victoria here. It's going to be nothing. I have nothing from her, but I do have one from her second release of coins, or is that the third? Second. None from the third release. None from the fourth. Then we have Edward. No coin in this spot because I would have had to have put George V here, and I didn't want to start the coin there. So, but as you can see, some years I have almost completely filled. So this is something else I'm just slowly been working on. And there was somebody in the coin community, and this kind of upsets me. He said he was going to help me out and send me a bunch, and this was back in December, and I messaged him in early February to see if he had sent them yet or see what was up, and no reply. And when I just messaged him again a few days ago, he got all snarky with me and gave excuse after excuse about how he hadn't been online and he hasn't been doing anything, which I know is a lie because I've seen him post. And it's like, if you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to help out a fellow coin collector. You know, don't sit there and make excuse after excuse and say you're not online when clearly you have been. And I'm not naming names. I'm not going to say who it is, but I managed to do very well without your help, so that's cool. Anyway, back to this. As with my trying to collect World War II coins from other countries, I've only got the 1945 to go for the George V, and I will have his complete reign from 37 to 48. And after that, I've only got a couple, 2 or 3 to go for his second release or third release, I'm not sure. Sorry, George VI. I think I said George V. Elizabeth II. I've only got the 54 and the 70 to go, and they stopped making them in 1970. And I will have that complete release. George VI, like I said, I got the 49, and there's only 2 more released after that. They didn't release one every year. Elizabeth II's 1953 release I do happen to have, so I'm glad I got that. I got lists of what I need for these, and I'll share that with people too, because who knows, maybe somebody's got one. They're like, hey, you know what, let's help you out, we'll throw you a bone here. And I'll show you real quick. This is what I do when I get bored. I create lists. This list, like George the 1716 to 1727, 12 millimeter, silver, 0.925% silver, all the way down to Elizabeth II, which is 54 to 70, silver, 0.925, 11 millimeters. But there's also the bronze versions that release at the same time. So I make my little tables. Lists everything. I fill in when I get one, and I haven't done that to this yet, but I do it on my computer with a dot, as you can see. So I do need to update this, because this is very incomplete for what I have in here. But the other thing I do is I get on the website, I find every coin for that release, and I print it out, or I add it to a file so I can know what to look for. You know, a good example, Elizabeth, you know, you look, the 35, you can see her, how she looks. The 36 is silver, so I'm not going to worry about that. But then you look at the 37 and she looks a little bit older, so you can just sort of follow along and see. Like Victoria is a great example. Second portrait, third portrait, and so on. And this helps me out a lot. And I do this for a lot of the coins I have, a lot of the collections I've started. I also printed out all the labels just to be ready. And as I get them, I peel them off and I stick them on. And yes, some of these are full pages almost, but that's because I accidentally made 2 sets of labels, and the other ones are somewhere around here and they need to be added to this album. But yep, this is my British penny collection, and I'm happy to have shared it with you guys. Take care.